How's it going, everybody? Isn't it nice to actually sit down and have a conversation? Or at least sit down, we're comfortable here in whatever viewing atmosphere that you are in right now. I'm sitting on my couch, and it's not like me holding a camera and saying, I don't have time, but I think the Seahawks are going to win on Sunday. Isn't that nice? Last week was incredibly busy. Also, anywhere from traveling, getting back into town and trying to do 3 videos in a time period was very, very difficult. Before we get this underway, though, I do have to say, go Dogs. Today, the Washington Huskies are playing the Oregon Ducks in Seattle at Husky Stadium, or American Airlines Field at Husky Stadium, which is really dumb. I could say something. I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, so this is, at least this year, going up against the Oregon Ducks, there's a shot. We have a chance at potentially beating the Ducks for the first time in 10 years. People are calling it a decade. The last time the Huskies beat the Oregon Ducks, it was in 2003, and I was a senior in high school. That is how long it has been since the Washington Huskies beat the Ducks. Also, the last quarterback to lead the Huskies to the victory over the University of Oregon is, believe it or not, Casey Paz, which I was very surprised to learn that in the newspaper. So if the Huskies do lose today, which I hope that they don't, you can use that for a trivia question at a bar or some kind, or a way that you can up your friends in terms of your sports knowledge. That also being said, I think there's hope in this game because I know the Huskies have inconsistencies on both sides of the ball. However, Oregon lost to Wazoo, and yes, they lost in overtime, but at the same time, Wazoo lost to Portland State. So, Oregon lost to a team that lost to Portland State. I don't know about you, but that's kind of embarrassing. So, that gives me a little bit hope that the Huskies can turn it around this year, and the decade will end in a couple of hours. So, go Dogs, bound to Washington, fingers are crossed. All right. So, welcome to the comment video. Again, the video where you decide where the conversation goes. And guess what? We actually have something from Twitter this time. Yes, it took us 6 weeks, but we finally have something from Twitter. Isn't it amazing? The sad part is it's not a tweet or a comment or a message. It's actually a alert saying that somebody has added me to a public list. And so maybe that will get some more followers on Twitter and some more comments, because we've had YouTube, Facebook, we have not had Twitter until today. And the sad part is I'm going to butcher this person's username because I have no idea how to pronounce it. It is spelled Huunci. That's the first part of the name. Raupqa. That is the second part of the name. So I'm just going to say Hunsi Rupka. I hope that is correct. I apologize if it's not. But he or she has added me to the Hunsi Rupka Seahawks list that has a bunch of Seahawk posts and pictures and tweets and such. So thank you very much for adding me on your list. I appreciate it. Hopefully that will get the Twitter. That will help start to get the Twitter thing going. I have always had the Twitter account. Rarely use it, but then again, there's no reason to use it because then I never get any alerts or notifications. So we'll see how that goes. So I just wanted to say thank you for adding me to your list on Twitter, and congratulations again. You are the first person to do something to respond to a video or a tweet on Twitter during this football season. So thank you very much, and congratulations to you. So now we will move over to Facebook. We got my buddy Adam Bird again from Shoreline Concert Band. What's up, buddy? He writes, he also liked this post, and I probably wouldn't be a bit surprised if he thought it was amusing how quick the video was. He says, I hope you start getting more Facebook comments. Your videos are very informative, well thought out, and educational. I never thought I always looked at sports videos as entertainment, not educational. So thank you very much for using that term. He also writes, they are also great because you are hilarious. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Adam. It's nice that somebody finds these amusing. Really, I mean that. So thank you very much. I will see you on Monday at rehearsal. Moving over to YouTube. I'm actually going to do this in opposite order. Based the way that YouTube lines up their comments, and even on Facebook, it's first come, first serve. But I'm actually going to go over the last comment first because I made an error. This is from Jude Steves 87. He says, he's got two comments. The first one is, I think you got the schedule mixed up. The Seahawks bye week is after the Dallas game. I looked at the schedule, and you are correct. The bye week is actually the weekend after Halloween. I think that was due to my travel schedule and due to the fact the Seahawks play a Thursday night game after the Carolina game. So thank you very much for that correction. So my stance in terms of where the Seahawks need to be after the Dallas game still remains at 4-4, but it just means that in order to get back on track, we have to win 2 out of these next 3 games just to have a shot at making a second half run. Got to at least finish at 4-4. If not, then the Seahawks, like I said before, could be in serious trouble. So thank you for the clarification, Canuck. I really appreciate it. He also writes, this is regarding the Cincinnati game. I was able to watch the first drive by Seattle, and the offensive lines looked spectacular, especially on that touchdown pass to Kearse, allowing time for Wilson to find him wide open for the score. I was surprised to hear the Bengals came back after that huge lead, and certainly think the Seahawks season won't get any easier the next 3 games heading into their bye week in November. And I agree with you, because the schedule, again, I want to emphasize again, the schedule is actually getting a lot harder than what it looked like at the beginning of the season. Because at the beginning of the season, you could have said the last 4 games, 3 games that we played, you could have made a case that we could have won every single game. And then Cincinnati comes, sneaks up on us, so there's that. But I don't think anybody thought that the Panthers would be 4-0 going into Seattle in Week 6. I don't think anybody projected that at all. So I would agree with you. It's not just these 3 games, it's the schedule in general. The schedule in general is getting a lot harder, which is kind of abnormal because normally the NFL, like, you either have an easy schedule or a hard schedule. You never have a schedule you rarely have a schedule that just kind of changes and goes like this throughout the season. That's usually not what happens. So thank you, Jude Steves 87. The last one from the dismal Cincinnati is from Pigpen. He says the defense has only given up 3 points at home. Not sure I'm ready to throw them under the bus yet. So Pigpen, that is a good stat. That's a very good stat. The fact that the Seahawks in general have only allowed 10 points in 2 games against subpar teams at home, which is good. But again, we keep giving up late comebacks in games. And if it hadn't been for Cam Chancellor right now making the play of the season at the goal line against Calvin Johnson and the Detroit Lions, the defense probably could have given up 10 points in those 2 games. Sorry, I had a brain for it. 10 points in those games, which would have led to a loss. So let's just say this. We're not throwing them under the bus completely yet, but the bus is pulling into the bus stop. Let's just say that at this point in the season. So finally, we have the Carolina preview, the short Carolina preview, which I thought was a little amusing because I know these videos have a tendency to be between 15 to 20 minutes, and with that being the shortest preview out of all of them, it actually got the most views within a week since the St. Louis game, which was the first game of the season, which I thought was kind of amusing. So this is from Canuck, a.k.a. Ian, a.k.a. Jude Steve 87, and I'm not very happy with this. He says, as much as I hate the Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton, as much as I like to see Seattle take them down, I think Carolina will come into Seattle and beat them. Carolina has been looking pretty good so far, and their defense is very tough, while Seattle has issues on both sides of the ball, and I just can't trust them to beat a tough, good team. The Seahawks are 2-3, and those victories came against a backup quarterback on a terrible Chicago Bears team, and they were the recipients of a missed call against Detroit, a game Seattle probably should have lost. The Seahawks, to me, are a 1-4 team. I think it will be a tight game since it is in Seattle, but I see Carolina giving Seahawks fans some panic buttons as an early Christmas present. All right. So first off, stop predicting the Seahawks to lose. Seriously, you said you're 5-0 in predictions. Stop predicting the Seahawks to lose. Okay, you are the reason why we are losing. No, I'm just messing. I'm kidding. I'm going to say this, Canuck. If this game was in Carolina, I would be very concerned. But since the game is in Seattle, and we're 2-0 at home, we play differently at home compared to on the road, we've shown that we can win home games, that is why I disagree with you. The second thing is this. Again, I want to emphasize, like I said in my preview, the Seahawks are 4-0 against the Carolina Panthers under Russell Wilson. And if my memory serves me correctly, they're 5-0 against the Carolina Panthers during the Pete Carroll regime. I think that's the case because I know they played in 2010, the 7-9 year, and I can't remember if they beat them or not. I'm pretty sure they did. So, but if that is the case, the last time the Carolina Panthers beat the Seattle Seahawks, you've got to go back to 2007. So it has been a very long time. So until the Carolina Panthers can show that they have the ability to beat the Seattle Seahawks, I am not going to say that they are going to win. I'm going to say the Seahawks are going to win. I do think it's going to be a tight game, but it's because of that big record against this particular opponent, which we've had the number, why I disagree with you. Definitely do think that the Seahawks are very close to being 1-4 at this point of the year. So, but again, it's in Seattle. The 12s are going to be there. Let's get this team back to 500, and that way we can go on a short week against San Francisco in the following week, which means another weird, crazy blog week for me. Man, I'm waiting to get back to the whole, comment video Saturday, recaps Sunday, preview Monday. I'm waiting to get back to that schedule, but due to the fact the Seahawks keep playing Monday and Thursday night games, and since my schedule with me going out of town, I'm hoping that this calms down just a little bit. Okay, well, that's all I got for the comment video, so thank you very much. Again, if you would like shout-outs or you want to voice your opinions, feel free to keep them coming. I will give you a shout-out. We'll go into what you would like to talk about here up on the Seahawk Project as we continue to cover the Seattle Seahawks during the 2015 season. So, thanks for watching. Again, go Huskies, and let's go Hawks. Talk to you later.